Hello Aquarius, and welcome to my channel. My name is Nikita Antoine and I am the Oracle of Natiru. All of my readings are timeless, so whenever the message finds you and resonates, and it's yours at the time in which you found it. And even though they are categorized by zodiac sign, all of the messages are yours to witness and claim. So I've done your spread with my cards. I'm forgetting what cards they are. Threads of Fate, Weaver Tarot, the Shadow and Lumen edition of their Oracle deck as well. So we have all of those. A song came in with your shuffle. It's called Black Wave by the Shins. I'll put a link of it in the, actually no, I was going to say a description box, but I'm going to put it in the comments. I'll pin it to the top of the comments. And in the song, it talks about looking on the brighter side. Well, actually, it talks about feeling like a weighted heaviness, like grief or sadness, and kind of, it's actually like pushing through to see the brighter side of a situation. So yeah, I'll put the link to that song in the description box. Actually, you know what, this the song, what initially came through was the introduction of the song. It sounds like mermaids, because I was seeing there's a scene, I think it's in, yeah, it's in the fourth movie of Harry Potter, the Goblet of Fire, where he's, Harry, of course, is at the tournament, and he is trying to figure out how to open that egg, the, I was going to say cosmic egg. I guess it can be a cosmic egg. But he's trying to figure out how to open the egg, and he's in the bathhouse, and the girl that is there, she's a ghost, I can't remember what her name is, but she like laughs at him because every time he opens the egg, it's like screaming, right? Because it's meant to be heard underwater. And so she's laughing at him, and she's not telling him how to properly hear it. That's very interesting. And it's like that scenario is happening in your reading. There's like a energy around you that seems to be like a critic. But in the end, it's like you're figuring out how to see it properly, like looking on the brighter side. So I will also put a link to that scene. I feel like that was a pretty good overall energy, but you know, I just want to practice with the Natiru and see what they have to say about your overall energy. Alright, Natiru, can we get an overall energy for the collective of Aquarius? Okay. I was looking down at my computer is right here, and I was looking. I have. Let me just show it to you. It's actually, oh god, I have lots of like crazy stickers. Don't judge me. I was looking at the sticker here. It's the moon. It's the moon sticker. It's actually the moon card from this deck, the Threads of Fate. And what's interesting is that you also have Nephthys as your overall energy. And I like to describe her as, it's kind of like the dark side of the moon. It's like being able to see the dark side of the moon. It's interesting that we were talking about looking on the brighter side, but this is speaking of it's like if you were to be able to see the dark side of the moon, like it would illuminate something for you that is like a necessary component for the, I was going to say trajectory, for your next step. It's like Harry was able, once he was able to see the dark side of the moon, in a sense of putting that egg underneath the water, he was, that was the key component to telling him what the challenge of the tournament was, and how to like face it, or like be best suited into facing it, or finding the right components to yeah, it kind of just wants to be like facing it, facing the dark side of the moon. Interesting. So we'll see how that plays in. I think it's playing in pretty well. All right. We're starting your reading off with the Eight of Cups. And with this Eight of Cups, I'm receiving this, it is talking about the traditional Eight of Cups, where it's like the hermit is walking away, like walking away from emotions that don't necessarily serve him. And so he's leaving those emotions behind to essentially, well, the Eight of Cups leads into the Nine of Cups, which is your wish fulfillment. So it's talking about leaving behind emotions that don't serve you and moving in a trajectory towards finding your wish fulfillment. But here I'm noticing that these cups are, they're stacked in a very precarious way. And what's coming next is the Six of Coins. And from this, I was getting that there's a precarious balance to something that you're making. It feels like this. It feels like a house of cards. And I say that because the next card, this next card that came through, I always have a difficult time holding all of these. The next card that came through is the Seven of Swords. And interestingly enough, its message changed today. It typically talks about your essence being trapped in like the Skeksis castle of the Dark Crystal. I guess in a sense here it is talking about the same thing, but it's like it is as if you built a beautiful house of cards. It's very precariously balanced. Everything is the cards are like leaning in on each other. I keep getting this, sorry. It's like just, I don't know if it's my hair or if it's like something that's wanting to come in, and anyways. But yeah, it's talking about you've made something, and it wants to be like a piece of art. Right now it's being presented as like a house of cards, but it's, okay, let's just move on. With this next, I can't move on, hang on. It's like you put all of your all of your being into it. It's a piece of artwork that you've put all of your being into. And I'm seeing you, it's like I'm seeing you at a gallery or at a it's it's not a museum. It's more like it's like a where somebody would go to like sell their paintings or something. I don't know. It's like a gallery, and I'm seeing it's like you're presenting your artwork. So you're presenting your essence in front of somebody, and I'm seeing you. If your artwork is this house of cards, that's what it's being presented as overall. I'm seeing you sliding it across the table with the underworld and the sovereign of coins. It's like you're pushing it, you're showing it to somebody. You're showing a critic. This feels very specific. It's like you're showing a critic your artwork, and there's a sense of with the underworld here, there's a sense that I'm hearing like it's kind of like putting all your eggs in one basket. There's a it's kind of got like a gambling thing to it as well. And it's interesting that we're talking about cards too, this house of cards. It's like you are tied to, I'm seeing these hands here. It's as though you feel like you're tied to the outcome of whatever this critic says. I'm calling them a critic. That doesn't necessarily have to be harsh. Well, it kind of feels a little harsh in this reading, but because it's like how could somebody judge your essence, your work, it feels as though you're tied to their opinion. And it's like as you are presenting the work to them, because it's like you feel like the sovereign of coins when you look at your work, which is, I mean, it's your work, right? It's like you are the mother of your work. You've cultivated it, you've nurtured it. If we're talking about, you know, the house of cards, you're like sitting and you're like delicately like there's a lot of focus that is being put into this piece, because I see these hands as being very, it's like a pinpoint focus. And then when you're pushing it forward onto the table, showing them your work, there's this delicacy that is wanting to come through. One, because it's a house of cards, it can easily tumble, but also because there's it's heartfelt. Your emotions are tied into the outcome of whatever this critic is going to say. And like it would wreck you. It's like it would wreck you if it's not received well. So you're presenting. There's something about this being tied, your hands being tied. There's something about it that is it's like the dependency on whatever this person's opinion is like binding you. It's this energy. It's this energy of the Seven of Swords. It's like it's because this comes through as the Skeksis castle. It's like it's it's trapping your essence. There's something about the bindings. I think it'll come out a little later on. So, and then you're sitting at the table, right? You're presenting your work, and we have the get curious. Just trying to see how it wants to be presented. We have get curious and soul work. So this is what's being shown here to me, is that the work that you do, absolutely, it's a part of your purpose. It's the reason why you came here to do what you're doing. The work that you do is meaningful, purposeful, and has I'm looking for the word. It's invigorated with spirit, is what I want to say, because this card here, the Get Curious, has this crow spirit over the top. So it's like your work is inspired. It's inspired by spirit, your spirit, right? Or, like, it's kind of like you, like I was doing that thing with my ear. It's like you receive how to do, like, the work that you do, and so then you get to work, and that's why you're so tied to it. It's interesting because in the lyrics of that song, the first lyric of Black Wave talks about, I'm hearing the ringing. It's like, that's what it is. It's the work that you do is like delivered through spirit. So the first lyric in that song is, "This goose is cooked." I can't remember what the rest of it is. Where I was looking for, my phone's right there. This goose is cooked. Goose is cooked. Because now it's like it's like a goose, which is talking about that the work that you do, it's like it's finished. It's like a completed piece, or a completed portfolio, like the portfolio of your work. But what I'm seeing is that this is the critic. Because we're going to talk about it. We do shadow work on my channel, so we talk about the tough stuff, right? So this is the critic. The critic is represented as the Sovereign of Wands, right? She's a very dynamic, like, individual. That's probably why you look up to them so highly, is because, I mean, they could be an artist. They could be a more established artist themselves. I mean, you are certainly established as well. You're coming up as the Sovereign of Coins, but it meaning like there is a like a dynamic vigor to who they are. They're very expressive in what they do, and it's like when you see them, it's almost like you've put them on a pedestal, and it's almost as if you're not seeing yourself as worthy as the critic. It's like, that's what I mean. It's like you feel as though their opinion is kind of like a make or break to your career, to your artistic endeavors. And they see your House of Cards. I'm just using House of Cards as like a blanket statement for your portfolio. And let me show you. They are coming with this It's coming out really harsh. I'm so sorry. Oh, Aquarius. Okay, so they're coming with this reclaim, and it's like they see it, they see your portfolio or your work, and it's like they're just blowing your house of cards down. Like they're just like they don't even care. Hi, baby. Little Quinn's in the window. That's funny because a big gust of wind just went by, too. It's like they're taking your work and they're just kind of like, I don't know. It fucking sucks, man. It sucks. They're like chewing it to bits, is what it feels like to me. They're just blowing it down. And it's like, because you worked so hard, right? You worked so hard to build this portfolio. Like you put your entire being into your work, right? You have this, with the Sovereign of Coins, you have this creational energy. You put everything into your work. And for some nobody, I'm going to say it straight up, this is a nobody. For some nobody to come along and just like wreck your shit is like, it sucks. And what I'm seeing is that I'm seeing a correlation between the Sovereign of Wands. Hopefully you can see it. There's these like two, I know it's the back of her crown, but it's these two stingers. And then this bee here is like it has a stinger as well. And this came through very strongly as your tongue. It's like when they say whatever they say, it's like it stings your tongue and your tongue swells up and it's like you can't speak. It's like you're tongue-tied. There's the next line of the song. It's talking about like tongues being tied, goosenecks being tied. But what's really interesting here, what I found really interesting, is that this being representative of your work, it's like this critic knows something. There's something, it's kind of like, okay, so there's something in the back of their head, right, with these stingers. There's something in your work that has kind of, it's hit something. It's like it's triggered something in them, and it's causing them to like bark at, well, like it's causing them to look at your work in not a fair light. It's like they have had an experience. They've had an experience like you are having now. This is really interesting. It feels like an initiation. It's like if you are a young artist or something, it's like the initiation is to have your work just like totally like shat on, and then for you to like be birthed and like as a phoenix, sort of type of thing. So I'm not, it's as if they know that however they're judging your work is going to cause some type of swelling, fever, right? After a fever breaks, like in order, if you get sick, right? The fever is what helps you into getting better, right? The fever is a symptom of like recovery, right? You have to go through the fever in order to come out in a a more like glorious fashion. It's it's like it's almost as though she or they or he, in your work they see themselves, and so they're triggered to kind of cause this same experience that they had in you, so that you can now become, so that you can shift from this sovereign of coins to the sovereign of wands. It's making you more dynamic. So we have, right, we have them coming in with the reclaim card, blowing your house of cards down, and we're ending this particular row on the four of coins. It's like you're like, it's kind of like you're trying to hold on to your, I was going to say sanctity. Is that a word? I don't know. I don't know what it means. Sanctity? Sanctity? Sanity? I don't know. Sanctity? I don't know. It's like you're holding on for dear life, because you've invested so much in these pieces, right? These in your collection, right? The collection of your portfolio. You have invested so much in each of these pieces. It's like you're gathering them up and holding them really dear and close to your heart. And it's like you're not wanting to let go of them, because there's so much emotion that is fueled, or that fueled the creation of these pieces. And what I'm seeing is like, it's like you're trying to like, it's like you're trying to save their it's like you're trying to save the essence of your pieces. And what's happening with this next row, the four of coins is followed by the five of coins. And it's like, no matter how well you try to like block the wind that is blowing this house of cards of yours over, it's like once one card falls, the whole thing crumbles. And that's what's happening here with the five of coins. It's like the feelings of your work are, it's just a mess. It's like if you were to like, it's kind of like if you were to drop your purse and like all your shit is just laying out like for everybody to see. It's just totally, because this is a very vulnerable process for you, right? You are showing somebody the most vulnerable side of yourself, and they're kind of just like blowing it over. However, what I noticed is, in this process of your work being spilled out, this bound, I have to get really close. Your bound hands, this is you being emotionally tied to your work. It's being severed here. These hands are not bound anymore. It's kind of like the purpose of your work is to push the energy, the emotion that you feel out of your body and into the canvas, if you know what I mean. Like, but the thing is that there's something inside of you that's still holding on to that. It's like you're still holding on to that emotion within you. And when this is blown over, it's like finally the emotion of the depth that you've put into your work is released, and it's releasing this emotional boundness to your work. It's like if you've ever heard of, I am one of those artists though. The artists who like could never sell their work because it means so much to them. It's kind of like that. It's like in order to make money, right? In order to make the money, because we do have a lot of coins here. In order to make the money, you have to like let it go. You have to let it go. You can't just keep mothering it, right? This is that like mothering, mothering the creation. It has to be let go, right? With the eight of cups, we're talking about letting go of the emotional attachment that you have to your work. It's like if you are less emotionally attached to your work, this critic doesn't have as big of a impact as they are having right now. So what I'm seeing next is, it's like whatever what this release that happened, this emotional release that happened, this is your tongue again. I often see this as this is the share wisdom. This is like a vocal box, and your tongue here, it's like look at how swollen your tongue is here. This is the stinger, the bite from that Sovereign of Wands. And now with that release, it's like, look, your tongue, it's like you can speak now. It's like you can speak now. It's like you had the meeting with the critic, you know, you gathered all your shit, you left, you're like, fuck that bitch, and then is what it is. And you're it's like as you are walking out of the building and you got in your car, it's like you just like lost it. You lost it. And it's in that release that has cooled off. That's what that's the fever. It's like it's cooled off the fever of your attachment. And I'm seeing, it's like I'm with the Get Wild, I'm seeing you. It's interesting. This actually came through as like a letter in the mail. This, I mean, because of course with COVID and everything, this could have been like a online exchange, right? And I'm seeing you like balling up this letter, a letter that came in the mail, and you're throwing it out. You're like, fuck, like you're mad. I mean, I don't blame you. I would be mad too if somebody came across and like just who doesn't even know me, and I totally understand this. And you're balling it up and tossing it, you're throwing it away. And that is a very significant thing that you've done. Because what you've transmuted relying on somebody else's opinion to tell you your worth, and that has, do you see what I mean? Like that's transmuted that energy. However, now I'm seeing you with the Judgment card. It's like now that you have freed yourself of that energy, it's like you went back. It's like you went back to the letter. You opened it up, opened up the crumpled letter, and you're seeing something new. There's something in that letter or in whatever statement that this Sovereign of Wands said to you. There's something in that is being highlighted. It's being highlighted. It's because I see this nature card because it has 3 eyes, right? It can see the good, the bad, and the in between, kind of in this case. So it's like you saw the bad, right? And now you're seeing, it's like as you reopen the letter, you're seeing the good and the in between in it. There's something in that that is sparking you. There's something in it that is sparking you, and you're moving into this Fool energy, which is kind of like scrapping your portfolio. It's like you're scrapping your portfolio and you're starting something new. It's brand new. It's not something that is related to what you've been doing in the past. It's a new form, or a new way of looking at your work, and how to like invest a different type of passion into your work. It's like if your work was kind of this, if you made your work in this energy, let me show you. Kind of wants to be like if you've made your work in like if your work was fueled more based off of grief or sadness or something like that. This has moved your work into something that is more lighthearted. It's brighter. It catches the attention more, because it's not. It's like you're painting with. I'm getting this thing in my eye. It's like you're painting with a different palette. It's different colors, a new way of looking at the colors, and how to apply them properly, because before it's like they're muddied or something. There's something that's muddy. I'm seeing in the 6 of coins, there's, I don't know, it's like it's muddied, and then there's a trigger in this statement or letter that is causing the palette color to shift into more brighter, dynamic tones. Very interesting reading, Aquarius. Thank you for letting me access your energies. If this at all resonated with you, Aquarius, check out the extended. Check out the extended. The link for that is in the top of the description box. And I'll see you there. And if not, I will see you next time. All right, Aquarius. I love you. My heart goes out to you. You've got this. Keep pushing. There is a brighter side, okay? Love you, Aquarius. Bye.